lot of times we'll have some YAML file. And if you ever looked at a YAML file, you might have something called like a deployment.yaml file. And inside of there, we might describe, so inside our deployment.yaml file, we might actually describe how many replicas we want to run. So we might say like replicas, 3, and we might, somewhere in there, we might say like the image or the container image I want to run is like in Stogner / my app v1. So if we look at this, you should be, you're probably familiar with something like this if you ever use Kubernetes. Some sort of description or manifest file that declares what you would like the state of your application to be. So how does this actually translate into 3 replicas of your application running? I think the easiest way of describing this is actually to say, to start with, how do we run a single container? And then we'll kind of hold on to this thought and come back to it. So the simplest primitive inside of Kubernetes today is something called a pod. So you might have, let's say that we actually wrote a pod.yaml file. And inside of there, it's not, you don't have the concept of replicas, but you do have the concept of like container images that you want to run. And let's say that you just have one. So we want to run my app v1. And you can also supply additional things in here, like, environment variables, all that stuff. But let's just say, let's focus on the image for now. So what do you do with this YAML file? Typically, you have this YAML file, and let's say this is you over here. I just got this new sketch pad, so I like to use it. So this is you, and you're working on your laptop, and you have this tool installed called kubectl. And what a lot of times you'll use something like kubectl apply-f, and then you'll pass it your manifest pod.yaml. What does that actually do? So that sends an API request to the Kubernetes API server. And what is the Kubernetes API server? Well, it's actually just a REST API. So nothing new yet. This is a REST API. This kubectl apply command is actually just issuing something like a put pods, something like that, or maybe like a post pods. So we're able to, and you can type in like kubectl create, or replace. Like these all map to your REST verbs. So what does the Kubernetes API server do?